So we're here today in Richmond to remember all the innocent martyrs of Palestine and Lebanon. We think of you. Humanity soldiers, the mist is laying thick on the surface of the water. The light is rippling through the grey masses, fighting its way past years of darkness, years of mean, dirty, barbaric history, of bloodshed and countless massacres. Humanity lost and lost again. And in the middle of it all, your heart is still beating. Faint heartbeats getting louder and louder, with each innocent soul getting martyred, with each baby's body getting sliced into pieces and shrapnel gracing their beautiful soft skin. And through that deep, inconceivable mist and the beat of your heart getting louder and louder, you can hear mothers screaming for their sons and daughters who can no longer be found, hidden under the rubble, and years of tears and unspeakable pain. And in the distance, you hear grown men being tortured, raped and slaughtered. And the ache in your heart is so deep that the mist washes over you like a bloody carpet covered in satanic dust. And the light rippling through is hard to fathom. It's not shining bright enough. And you grasp for it with both hands, as hope is all we have. And we never stay silent, and we never give up. Never ever give up, as we are humanity soldiers. Our hearts, our minds, our soul are there with Palestine always and forever.
There are many things I have to tell you. People are turning a blind eye to the horrors that have been going on for over a year now in the Middle East. So I have a few facts and figures here to let you know that I picked up off the TV recently, and some thoughts that I've had as well. My name's John Altman, by the way. I've been supporting Palestine for a long time. I discovered what was going on at the marketplace in Kingston one Saturday afternoon, and I was horrified. This was like a few years ago now, to see the dreadful things that have been going on there long before all the horrors of the present day. Children being dragged out of their beds in the middle of the night and thrown into prison. Persecution all round, really. Anyway, I could go on. But anyway, I jotted these notes down before I came here this evening. 6 paramedics are among the 45 killed in Israel's bombing campaign across the south and east of Lebanon. I also heard today some ambulances were bombed by the Israeli Air Force, and then people went to rescue the people who survived, and the Israeli Air Force hit them as well with a few bombs. So evil. They target ambulances. Unbelievable. You couldn't get much more evil. At the present time, the count of dead Palestinians who've been killed is now 43,259. with 101,827 injured in the attacks since the genocide began in October 23. Can you imagine that amount of people being killed in Surrey? I think something would probably be done about it already a long time ago. Or in America, for example, if that amount of people had been slaughtered in Texas, I think something would have been done. It's insane that nothing's been done. 17,029 children have been killed across Gaza since October 2023. 70% of the victims in Gaza, 70% are children and women. 180 brave journalists and media workers have been killed in Gaza since October the 7th. United Nations Relief Agency says 233 UN staff have been killed since October the 7th. That's outrageous. That's probably the most UN workers that have ever been killed in any conflict anywhere in the world in history. United Nations Relief Agency, yes. 751 Palestinians were killed by Israeli forces and illegal settlers in the occupied West Bank since October the 7th. 11,200 Palestinians have been detained in occupied West Bank. You so much as speak out against Netanyahu and his murderous thugs, you're going to pay for it, because they've got extraordinary technology that can tap people's phones wherever they are. As far as the Lebanese Health Ministry has said that 2,822 people have been killed in the Lebanon already. A beautiful country. As with Gaza, that could be beautiful, beautiful people. 12,937 injured by the Israeli attacks since October the 23rd. Ambulances bombed in Lebanon. I already mentioned this just now. And then the people who tried to rescue the survivors are also bombed. I ask you a question, and maybe somebody here this evening can answer it for me. What good has Israel ever done for anyone in the Middle East, or let alone that, in the world? Anybody answers on a postcard immediately to me, please, because I cannot think of anything good that they have done. And also, they have bombed every single country on their borders. Unbelievable that they get away with it. It has to stop, and it will stop. Thousands and thousands of people across the world, when you look in certain papers, not many of them, sadly, but on the right news channels, Al Jazeera, Turkish television, Euro News and French TV are pretty good. Unbelievable, there's no mention of these dreadful figures on the British television. So, regarding the aggression that Israel has shown to all its neighbours and the rest of the world, I guess, it's not surprising when they're all born to fight and to kill. As soon as they can walk almost, they're heading for the conscription. If you don't join up in Israel, you'll be put in jail. And I see a certain section of the Jewish community there. They're on TV this morning being beaten up by the Israeli police. So they're refusing to go to this war. So they're even beating up their own people. 26 were killed today, and a baby in Gaza. 26 people killed in one day, and one baby. Shocking. And 12 people were murdered by the Israeli Defense Force in northern Bekaa. I don't know if you heard the story or saw it on the news. The man who had twins, and he went off to have the babies registered. When he came back, his home had been bombed by the Israelis. His wife was killed, and the twins too. Shocking, absolutely shocking. The reason why they tapped the lady's phone and found out that she criticised Israel and Netanyahu, so they decided to attack her house, just for that, just for speaking on the phone about it. Tragic, absolutely tragic. There was a tailor who was working away in his workshop, and a bomb came over just behind where his workshop was. It was his house, and it took out his entire family. Well, all he was doing was sitting at his sewing machine and working. Nothing to do with the war at all. Unbelievable. And the absolute sadness. And I have no words for it really. There was a little girl, I think she was probably about 8. She had both her limbs removed, and you probably know that the rate of amputees, especially among children in Gaza and the West Bank, is the highest in the world at the present time. She had her legs blown off below the knees, and obviously they gave her some comfort, and she was bandaged up. She turned to the doctor and said, "Will my legs grow back?" Breaks my heart. Holland, yet more people in the world demonstrating. 8,000 pairs of shoes were laid out in Holland this week for the murdered children of Gaza. And sorry, I I get very emotional about all this. I have a 10-year-old granddaughter, and when I see the children in Gaza on the news just covered in dust, staggering around with their parents are probably gone, it just breaks my heart. And I'll finish with this. More children have been killed in Gaza in the last 12 months than in the entire world in the last 5 years.